Big day in Oklahoma City. Thunder parade today. They even sent out a notice. They gave you parade etiquette, what to do, what to bring. Hydrate. Make sure that you don't lose sight of your kids. Bring a snack. They gave you etiquette. Well, they haven't had a parade out there. At least not a professional parade, I don't think. But they gave you some tips on how to enjoy the parade. I think what's going to happen. Now, there's this rush to, is OKC one of the great teams of all time? And the answer is no, they're not. They had a great regular season, but you were pushed to 7 games by Denver and pushed to 7 games by Indiana. Great teams don't get pushed to 7 games, not twice in a playoff series. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not in the hall of very good teams. I think what's going to happen, this will work in reverse. It might be 2 or 3 years from now when we look back at OKC and say, you know what? They were a great team. Because we're going to see what's going to happen in the next couple of years. Now, that's not fair to them. I know Oklahoma City Thunder fans get upset when we don't crown them and then praise them. Well, we crown them. We have praised them. But don't look for this, the fast pass to go to great teams of all time. You're not. OKC right now is a one-hit wonder. And it's a big hit. But let's see what you do. What do you add to your catalog? That will determine greatness. Those standalone teams, there have been standalone teams. They won that one time. It's really hard to repeat. And that's what we have to factor in. That's why we can say, well, it's parity. But trying to sustain greatness, that's why dynasties are rare for a reason. Remember the Celtics were taking over the sport, and then all of a sudden, they're not. Jason Tatum goes down. Who knows if he's going to play this next season? Go back to 2014. Seattle Seahawks. Oh, my God, that defense. Young, intimidating, dominant, young quarterback. Pete Carroll, your head coach. That dynasty never materialized. OKC is talented. SGA's a star. Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, kind of in the on-deck circle. Dynasties are not just about being young and good. It's about evolving. It's about enduring. It's about delivering again and again and again. OKC just enjoyed the parade. Enjoy the title. You earned it. But greatness isn't handed out at a parade. You got to earn it every single week, every single season, every single day. You got a banner. Getting that second banner is going to be even tougher. And this is where we sometimes forget greatness. Jordan never went to a Game 7. That's brought up all the time, but that's important to remember. He went against good teams. Utah Jazz, they won 60 games, it felt like, every year. They were a really good team. I thought that Seattle Supersonics team was as talented as any team I'd seen in a long time. But they won when they needed to win. They didn't need to get to a Game 7. You were on the ropes. You could have lost to Denver. And you could have lost to the Pacers. If Halliburton stays healthy, we have a different outcome, in my opinion. But OKC, you won it, and Shai Gilgeous was a wonderful player. Now, we want to put him into the Kobe category, or Jordan as a scorer. I know we want to do it. We want this immediacy. Instead of saying, how about just let this play out a little bit? There's nothing wrong with, tapping the brakes on this. You had a wonderful season. Let's don't make it more than what it was. A wonderful season. Enjoy the parade. I can't wait till opening night. You celebrate. You have a banner, championship rings. You've earned every bit of that. But let's be fair. Put it in context. You were pushed to 7 games by an Indiana team that was the biggest underdog in the last 25 years in the NBA Finals. You were pushed to 7 games by a Denver team that fired its head coach 2 weeks before the postseason. Put it in context, and in 2 or 3 years from now, we may look back and go, you know what? We missed that. Or, okay, they won their one title.